Do I need to be using artificial intelligence in my business? Hey, I'm Bruce Hill of New Skills, New You. I make sales simple. And for startup founders, for professional service businesses, we help your team hear yes more often. And part of what we do is finding the most efficient route towards your goal, whether it's revenue or retention, or both, right? Without complicated methodologies, without expensive software, or without implementing artificial intelligence. Pause. This is important. All of those things can be very valuable. Sales methodology helps you get consistent results across the team, not just one person, not just one month. Artificial intelligence can help multiply your efforts. Software can be a huge tool to leverage the skills of your team. However, that's second step. The first step is clarity, and this is where I come in. What I realized along the way, a lot of people don't need sales training, not in a conventional sense of overcoming objections and how to close a deal. There's an important, but what has happened before that is three things. It's got to be a level of clarity, confidence, and effective communication. So let's break those down, and then we'll circle back to whether or not you should be using artificial intelligence or other tools in your business. So the clarity comes from my 4P framework. Check out the book, Better Questions, Better Clients. And in the 4P framework, we talk about asking questions under these four pillars of people, promise, process, and pricing. And so when you work with me, we're going to go through those four pillars to figure out which one needs the most improvement and clarity. Then the next part of that, it's bit of a meta process because once you understand the people you serve with excellence, the promise that you're offering them, where we're going to help them get to, the process, how are we going to deliver that product or service, and then the pricing, making it simple for them to say yes. Then we're going to build a process, right? And this is the meta training of it. We're going to take that clarity and we're going to build a process to deliver that clarity to the rest of the team. So sales trainings usually come in after a consultation because if you ask me, how do I get, let's say you're going to a FC club game, right? Football club game in Atlanta. How do I get to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium? I can't tell you left, right, north, or south if I don't know where you are now. How can I give you directions? So before I can recommend artificial intelligence tools, I need to understand where you are and where you want to go. And that's where sometimes it's not a tool at all that you need. That clarity helps the actions you're already taking be more effective and ends up being a multiplier. Sometimes you say, man, we've got the clarity. What we're doing is working well. We want to multiply what we're doing. We want to increase what we're doing and speed what we're doing. Then we'll say, hey, here's some tools I've used that can help you get there. And that's where I love what I do because it shouldn't be a huge uplift in time, energy, or budget to start seeing results. That's what makes it so effective. And so the confidence comes from the clarity. You can confidently take the next step, the next action. You can confidently say no to things you don't need to do because you have the clarity. And now, when you have the clarity, you have confidence, it shows up in your communication. Your communication becomes more effective, whether it's your internal team or your external future partners, right? So, when I work inside of a business, before I make any recommendations, we're going to work on some clarity. I was working with a friend of mine doing some warm outreach for a conference. She said, hey, is there a tool that can help us automate or at least be more efficient in this? She was clear on who she was serving. She's clear on the transformation, the promise they were providing. She had a documented process how to do it consistently so that there's consistent results, even from different people, different months, years, you're going to get the result because she has a process. And then the pricing's there. The pricing makes sense for the person that she's serving, it makes sense for the business. She had all the pieces in place. Boom, we can talk about software recommendations, and then this is another part of the implementation is helping to get it up and running. I think people skip that step, and a good SaaS account executive understands that's part of the process. Before I can just give you this tool, you have to understand how it helps you achieve your business goals, how it helps you move towards the outcome faster, easier. And it's not the tool that gets you faster or easier until you have the clarity. Otherwise, you'll just have a collection of expensive software that's eating up revenue. How do I know? Because I've done it before. It was cool, and shiny, but it really didn't help us accomplish what we needed. And looking back, I wish I had this process. That's why I wrote the book. Selfishly, I wrote it for a version of me that needed that clarity. I'm excited to help you get there a little faster, a little smoother, and without what's the word? Fewer growing pains. That's what we do at New Skills New You. We focus on investing in people, so we're investing in business. We focus on driving that revenue retention through personal and professional development so that there's a lasting impact, a positive change through the organization. And I love what I do. I love what I do. So, do you need artificial intelligence in your business? Yes. But first, the better question is, do we have clarity?